Welcome back to NHI Chat. I'm April Glasgow. Now, NHI Chat is a social media program brought to you by the National Health Insurance of the Virgin Islands. Today's program is an active one. I invited Charles Forbes, personal trainer, to the program to discuss the importance of exercise, and he also gave us some tips as to how to involve children in our fitness routines. Stay tuned for more. I am interviewing you today as a personal trainer to get from you some advice when it comes to fitness and children. But first and foremost, what are some of the benefits of exercise for adults and children?
As you mentioned earlier, that it's back to school, and I'll tell you, the adjustment is very hectic. But in reference to your question, what are some of the benefits of exercise for adults and children? According to Parents Magazine, some of these benefits are not limited to strengthening the heart, and that's an important muscle. That's a muscle that we don't really tend to realize is a muscle. Just like how you have to exercise the biceps, the triceps, or the legs, you have to exercise that muscle. And some of the things you could do to exercise that muscle is cardio. Another thing that you also assist and help is benefit is it helps clears the arteries and the veins. And these things might seem simple, but it is very important when you're talking about cholesterol levels in your blood. So when you exercise, that also helps with that. It strengthens your lungs. And your lungs, I know there's a lot of asthmatic people here in the BVI, but exercising, strengthening your lungs will help with asthma and all that. Controls your weight. Now, this is key. If you look around, in the younger generation, they're not that active, and I think we need to work on that. But if you're not active, you tend to put on weight that's unnecessary. Exercise also strengthens the bones, not just milk, but the bones are also strengthened because as you exercise, you build muscle, and by building muscle, your bones also have to be able to hold on, to be able to keep these muscles, the weight that the muscles bring. The bones have to be strong enough to hold them, right? So as you exercise, your bones become stronger, and improve your energy levels, and these are just a few of the things that it does, But I would say for your overall well-being, and some of the other, as far as Healthline also states that exercise helps with the brain power. The researchers have said that aerobic exercise acts in different ways and can improve your mood, depression, because it makes you feel good about yourself. So if you feel good about yourself, then you limit the causes of depression, and especially in children. Sometimes you see on the rise, every now and again you see these children commit suicide because they're depressed. And if you give them activities, that could be a form of assisting them in eliminating that depression.
Thank you, Charles. Well, you mentioned in the benefits, you mentioned a lot of ways in which it can also benefit children in terms of exercise. So you mentioned in terms of improving the mood and the linkage to depression, and perhaps exercise can help with that. What other ways would you see, or why is it important for children to get involved in fitness? Because I know some people may say, they're young and they're already so active, so they don't necessarily need a focus on fitness. So what say you on that?
I'm glad you asked that question because in here in the BVI, I noticed that we have a lot of diabetes and a lot of different types of diseases. But if you start a child off at a young age in fitness and keep them healthy by exercising and eating properly, it will help reduce the blood sugar levels. Okay, it will help prevent cancer. I'm not trying to say that If you just go to exercise, you're never going to get cancer. But by exercising, you put yourself in a better position to prevent or decrease the chances of getting these things. It's just like saying, if you exercise, you're going to live longer. But that's not including if you are driving down the road and there's an accident. You know, you can't factor that in. You say, well, he was fit, but he got an accident and he died, you know. So you're using exercise as one of the preventive measures to prevent these different ailments. It helps to regulate your blood pressure. And go back to what I mentioned earlier in the benefits. I'm saying you got to get your children involved because their emotional well-being is very important. If a child is not emotionally stable, a lot of times it affects a whole variety of areas in their life, their schoolwork, the way they interact, their social behavior, you know. So we have to be very careful with our children. And I'm saying exercise is one way that we could help to put our children and set them up for a better future.
Thank you. How can parents get their children involved in fitness routines? How do you get your own children involved?
Okay, well, first I would say this. What I find sometimes with children, like I know you could maybe be a witness to this. If your child comes home and they think that the teacher said to them, if they think the teacher said 2 + 2 is 3, and that's what they got from school because the teacher said it, you could tell them up and down 2 + 2 is 4, and they'll know the teacher said. So what I would always say is, you know, we take our children out to the doctors periodically, at least annually, for different reasons or the other. If we could incorporate our doctor first and foremost in letting the children understand that from a young age how important exercise is, that would reinforce what you're trying to do with your children as far as letting them understand that exercising is something important because the doctor is also saying it. So that is something that really gonna help make your point even more stronger. I find that you have to if you want to get your children involved in exercise, make it fun. Make it fun. I mean, we're not going to be out there, you know, I mean, sometimes people say I'm like a drill sergeant, but even if I'm acting like a drill sergeant with the kids, I make it fun. So, you know, they're my soldiers, so they're going to do what a soldier does, you know, and we make it exciting and they really have a good time doing it. You choose activities that are developmental. I mean, what I'm seeing is like, you don't want to go out and have your child lifting up 5-10 pounds at a young age because they're growing, and the muscle needs to be able to grow at the pace it's supposed to, and not put all that bulky muscle and stunt. Because when you put the muscles, it makes the muscles tighter now. That will reduce the chance of it to stretch. So, you know, you do things simple as a scooter, you see. Scooters, not the motorized scooter, I'm talking about the scooters that you could, from old school, that you just scoot along with the 2 wheels, bicycles, skipping ropes, things that you could just have fun doing, but at the same time, they're getting a lot of aerobic exercise, because kids need a lot of aerobic exercise. It's still building muscle, but I think the main thing you want to push for your kids is aerobic activity. Swimming, all these little things, most children, get them out to swimming classes if you could teach them to swim, do that. Active toys, like I said. I mean, too much time we buy a lot of toys where they have to sit down behind the computer or the TV, and they might be playing basketball, football, they may play all kind of variety of sports, but they're not actually the one playing it. Their fingers are very toned and very, in shape, but the rest of the body is just sitting there. So those type of gifts and toys that you buy for your kids, where they're just sitting doing it, there's nothing wrong with it. However, you need to create active toys that are going to make them get up and move and do something, because it needs that the muscles need that mobility in order to grow and develop. That's why even at school there's recess. You can't have them in class sitting down all day. Send them outside so they can run around. We as parents, in addition to, like I mentioned earlier, having a doctor as reinforcement, we as adults have to be a role model for our kids. I know some people are like, your children might grow up and have another role model. However, the first and original role model of a child should be us. So the chances are, if your child sees you exercising, they're going to probably want to exercise, and don't push them away and like, oh, this is for mommy, this is for adults. Get them involved. Because, like I said, do something with them, and when they see that, oh, mommy looks good, or daddy looks good, and they'll see the benefits from it. And at the end of the day, you'll be around a lot more years to spend time with them as they grow. Play with your child. Simple thing as catch, run around the house safely. Those little things, sometimes I run around my kids and they have so much energy. I am huffing and puffing because, they just could go all day. Once you do something, they're laughing. And they are they want to go on and on and on. You're like, woo. Because we even though we might be in shape, or we might be exercising, a child is just naturally in shape. They until they just start practicing bad habits and become out of shape. For like me, like I said before, for me and my kids, I always try to make it fun. With my wife, I train my wife. And what I do is I incorporate the kids into helping me and my wife. Because my wife is disabled, so all of us collectively, myself and my two children, we work with her and encourage her. Encouragement is another key thing. You encourage. I even sometimes make it seem as if they're doing better than me. Just to make them see that they've improved. Because in order for you to, you always have to be always quick to scold our children and let them know when they're doing wrong. When they're doing something that is that you see is improving from what they did previously, give them that words of encouragement. And last but not least, I would say, don't overdo it with your children. If you're gonna decide to use weights and stuff like that, you have the canned goods. You have bottled water. If you have weights, 3 pounds, maybe max 5, just so you don't bulk up the kids, so they can get some kind of resistance, so the muscles will get some type of growth. But now you don't want to give them 10 or 15 pounds, to do that, unless your kid's a special gifted kid. And I always say, make it a lifestyle, just like we do everything else in our life. We get up and go to work. We get up and go to school. Make exercising something that you have to do every day. You have to eat, you have to drink water every day. Exercise every day. It doesn't take a long time. Just take a few minutes out of your day and do what you have to do, because it's going to pay dividends in the long run. And don't try to think that you're going to have results tomorrow, because it's a lifestyle. If you building a house, you don't go and build a house and it's fixed and it's ready to move in tomorrow. It's a process.
Thank you. Okay, since we're talking about making time every day, how often should we work out and for how long?
That's a good question. Everybody have their own formula as to how much time is all that. But according to the American College of Sports Medicine, the ACSM, they said 20 to 30 or 20 to 60 minutes a day for maybe 3 to 5 times a week. If you were able to put into your busy schedule at least a minimum, like I agree with them, 3 days out of the week where you focus on dedicated time to exercising, a minimum. If you could put in at least 5 to 6 days, do it. You don't overdo and overwork the same muscle group. If you have so many muscles, you could do a simple thing as just walk. You could do a simple thing as just go to be having plenty of water here. Go to the beach. If you could swim. You could actually do things without weights, using your body weight. So if you could put in a minimum of 3 days out of your busy schedule, I think that you'll see dividends. You'll feel better. Especially, I always recommend that people try to do something in the morning. Some people, are not morning people. They might do things in the afternoon. Whenever you could do it, do it. However, I feel that if you get up in the morning and do a good 20 to 30 minutes of exercise, you'll be surprised how your day will just, feel, you just be skipping to work and your day will just be so much better by doing that, So I always say minimum 3 days, but push it. If you could do more, put it in there. Make it a lifestyle. Make it part of what you do on a daily basis.
How do people get in contact with Charles Forbes?
You just call me via phone, mobile, at 1284-340-9880. And the same number, you can reach me WhatsApp. WhatsApp is a great tool. We could share ideas. You could send me a picture of what you look like. I could send you different schedules or anything that I have that I could help share with you. So, again, 284-340-9880, voice or WhatsApp. So the question was some basic exercises that you could do at home, or a child and adult can do at home or anywhere. So the first thing you always think about before you exercise is you want to make sure that your muscles are properly stretched. Most people will just jump into stretching the exercises immediately. However, I always recommend that you warm the body up a bit. Some people could start off by a simple marching movement. Just moving your legs and your arms, right? I sound like 1,000 soldiers coming down the road. And so you're moving your arm, you move your arm anyway. You just make it fun. It's just simple. You're just moving your arm. And this is like a modified, you could call it a modified jumping jack. Then you can start jogging in place. This is starting to build up the heart rate, and you start to feel real good, okay? You see, I'm just really taking it nice and easy. After you finish that, you can pick it up. You bring those knees up. And you can do this up to 5 minutes. So you get the heart rate up, get a nice little trickle of sweat, and then you move into stretching. So, one stretch, which is stretching here at the shoulder area, you pull it across your back. Keeping this hand right here, and you feel the stretch right here. This will prepare you for any type of upper body exercise that you may be participating in. If you notice my body, I'll turn on my profile. Your knees will be slightly bent. The reason for that is if you're just straight up and down, your knees could get locked and you could tip over and hurt yourself. So you always call it a horse stand. Keep your knees slightly bent and you stretch. And you see, I'm not dressed in workout attire, so you can do this anytime, any place. You don't need to say, well, I ain't got no workout clothes, I ain't got no workout shoes. You could do it anytime. This is called a bicep stretch. You put the hand like so, and you pull on the fingers, and you feel the bicep stretching. You do that anytime from 10 to 12 seconds, and you change over. And do the other hand 10 to 12 seconds. You want to do the triceps. One way to do the triceps is put it right here in the back of your leg. And you pull it over. And you want to pull it as far as you can, reaching down the middle of your back to ensure you feel a stretch right here. When you finish 10 to 12 seconds, you alternate to the next side and do the same. You want to stretch the abdomen. One way to stretch the abdomen is simple. You stretch to the sky and slightly lean backwards, keeping that horse stance. 10 to 12 seconds, you want to stretch the obliques. You stretch over to the left. 10 to 12 seconds, come back and go to the other side. 10 to 12 seconds. And you see I'm moving it down the body. Now, to stretch the thigh stretch, okay? Some people might need to have a little balance because sometimes you might get off balance. So you can use the wall, all right? And you grab, and you bring your knee in as close as possible to the other knee, and you stretch. 10 to 12 seconds on one side, turn to the other side and do the same thing, okay? Now you want to, this is a very delicate muscle, your hamstring. I always recommend that people stretch this muscle because it's easily hurt. You put your foot forward and you point your toe as much back to you as possible, keeping your knee straight. You don't push on your knee, you want to push down on your thigh. And you should feel a stretch come down right here on your hamstring. And you alternate to the next side, 10 to 12 seconds, and do the same thing. Now, the calves. There are many ways to do the calf. You can bring your calf up, your foot up to a chair or any type of wall, and just put it like so and lean forward. Or you can bend down and grab it and pull, and you feel the calf right there, okay? And you feel your calf muscles pull. And you do the same thing on both sides. Once you finish stretching, now you can start doing some exercises. Like I mentioned earlier, as a young child or even an adult just starting out, there's no need for any weights. You could do air weights. Air weights simply means you use no weights at all. So, to build your shoulders, a simple exercise is right here. Some of you go to church, you do the praise the Lord, you raise the roof. Or if you go to the club, you do the same thing. You know, so either, you could get yourself prepared. And you just go up and back down to the start position. Up and down. It might seem like an easy movement, no weights, something simple. However, based on your fitness level, if you try doing at least 30, 40, 50, if that doesn't do anything for you, you could do 60 or above. And you'll be surprised at how this simple exercise can really get you a good workout. Now, from this, if you want to challenge yourself, I usually do a little trio of exercises that really burns the shoulder, get you ready for upper body. So you have here, just like we just did we call that the first one, the military press. Now we're going to do the overhead hand clap, which is this here, and back down. This is working the back, upper back, as well as the shoulder. Okay? Scapula is back there moving and getting a good movement, good rotation, good for your joints. So you do as many of those as you can. And I would recommend starting out, you do at least 10 of each. Take about a 10-second break in between. Or if you want to do by time, you can do 30 seconds of each and take a 10-second break. Now, this is while you're still in this position, the simple thing, just work your shoulders also, is like a little burnout. You just go backward and forward. Once again, you can do it by time, or you can do it via a number, whichever one works for you. In line with push-ups. Once again, everybody's not at the same level of fitness. So, if you are not that strong upper body, you know that, or you just starting out, you can use the wall. Just place your hands against the wall, put yourself on at least a 45-degree angle on the wall, and you can do push-ups. The level of difficulty will come as you move your hands down. Because the further down the wall you move your hand, the more of your body weight will be used. So you come down and you come up. And once again, base your back, keep your back nice and straight, and you're bending your elbow. That's the way the exercise moves. This will work your bicep, triceps, chest, and your back. And like I said, once again, you can do 30 seconds of that, or you can do a number. Pick a number and work your way up from that, and you'll see how your improvement is via the numbers. Another exercise you can do is for cardio at the same time. You could do this right here. Step off, and this is working your whole entire body. You're using your legs, using your arms, you're working your obliques, and you do this I was just showing you a demonstration where you can pick up the pace. Another way to make this fun is put on your favorite music, whether it's gospel, soca, R&B, hip hop, merengue. Just put on some music with at least a nice beat. You don't want it too fast. You don't want it too slow. You want it to be a rhythm. Doom, 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 boom, doom. All right? That's one exercise. Simple exercise right here. You can put your hand right here and you twist your body. You're going to be working your abs as well as your legs. You bring your legs up. So you just abs. Abs are always tight. And you just do that for 30 seconds or for a certain amount that you feel comfortable initially. At this time, you can also use the wall if you want to work your calves. You can put your hands right here on the wall. And what you're going to do now is calf lifts. So now, the first one I'm going to do is about shoulder width apart, toes pointing forward, and you go up as high as you can on your toes. When you come down, do not allow your toes to touch the ground, and then elevate again. So you're back and forth, right here. Okay? There's another way. This here will work the inner part of your calves. The biggest muscle in your calf. You come up and you come up. So you point your toes outward. So it works a different part of your calves. Once you do the 30 seconds or the required amount, you turn your toes inward. This will work the outer part of your calves. And you come up. Okay? And those are some of just a few of simple exercises. In addition to this, another one is jump and jack. Kids love this one. Everybody can do the jump and jack. You're just jumping around, having fun. Right here. The proper is hands extended. Some people alternate it right here with arms downward. But if you can raise your hands up as high as possible, that'll be best. You get to stretch your abs. And like I said, there's so many more that can go on and on all day. But there's just a few things to keep you occupied, get your heart rate up at the same time, tone your muscles. Thank you.
I hope you enjoyed today's program. Yes, it was an active one. I hope you learned some tips to involve your children in your fitness routine. Remember, we're focusing on the overall well-being of children. That includes their fitness. I'm April Glasgow. Thank you so much for watching NHI Chat.